Hello, y'all. Come on into the kitchen because I'm fixing to prepare the #1 most... Hey, guys, y'all stop it. Leave Max alone. Gus, Lulu, get over there. All of a sudden they gang up on one of them, and it's always Max. Look, show him, Eddie.
You're bad.
This is Max right here, the little brown one, and the two of them gang up on him. And
I think you're lipstick.
Oh, you're looking so sweet, Lulu, like so innocent. You are a troublemaker. She is a troublemaker. She gets those.
She'll go up behind Max and bite him just to
I
get
know.
him going.
She will go up behind him and just pure bite him.
She just looked at me like she couldn't believe I picked her up.
You can tell she's a female. So anyway, this is the #1 most requested recipe that y'all would like to see me cook. And that's fried chicken. And you know, it can be a challenge to fry chicken at home. Probably the biggest problem though is in our fryers, in our electric fryers or our gas fryers at the restaurant, we're able to keep that temperature steady and constant. Where at home, it's kind of hard. It's harder to do. And I do have a commercial fryer here in the kitchen, but I'm not going to use that today because I feel like most of y'all don't have that you cook your chicken on top of the stove. So that's the way I'm going to cook this. And to me, this is an important step, y'all, because it's so hard to regulate your oil. I like for my chicken to sit out and get almost down to room temperature. I mean, you don't want to leave it out so long that it becomes unsafe. But if that chicken is not ice cold, I stand a better chance of keeping my temperature, regulated. So, and I'm wearing gloves because this is a messy one today. So this is exactly the way we do it at the restaurants. I'm gonna season it with my house seasoning. And I'm gonna, in case y'all don't have access to this, I'm gonna share with y'all how you can make your own house seasoning. All right, let's see. Oh, look, there's a back. And I love the back of a chicken. You don't see that very often, but Teresa had the butcher cut this, didn't you, Teresa?
I did. Chicken's hard to get right now.
I know. All right, so let me tell y'all how to make this. 1 cup of salt, 1/4 of a cup of garlic powder, not salt, but garlic powder, 1/4 of a cup of black pepper, and over the years, I've started adding 1/4 of a cup of onion powder to that. So it's very, very simple. 1 cup of salt, 1/4 cup of each of those herbs, pepper, onion, and garlic. So it's so easy. And when we first started making this at the restaurant, we'd mix it up in 5-gallon buckets. And then every morning people would just go in there and scoop them up a bowl of seasoning and take it to their station. All right. So to me, what, Lulu? What are you wanting? Something's wrong with Lulu. She's just wanting to fight or something. What are you wanting to do? What are you wanting to do? And poor Max, look how red his eyes are. He's saying, help me, help me, help me. Look, his eyes are so red. I think he's allergic to all the stuff going on right now in the yard. All right, to me, this is what sets our chicken apart. And I'm using my beautiful fresh eggs from my chicken coop. And I'm just gonna beat those up. And I'm gonna get me just a little drop of water. About that much, not much. And to me, this is our secret. This is what gives it such good flavor.
What is it?
It's my Paula Deen hot sauce. This hot sauce is so good, y'all. I just love it. And I worked on this for a while. I remember actually going to New Orleans, Louisiana, and working with people on getting this formulated just to my satisfaction. So it really is good. Aunt Peggy said it's the best she's tasted. And it's not overpoweringly hot. But
if they don't have access to that, Paula, which one do you, are there any that you recommend?
I would say something like Texas Pete or some kind of Louisiana hot sauce. But to me, mine is so much more gooder. All right, so that looks like a lot of hot sauce, doesn't it, y'all? That was probably 5 ounces, so it was probably maybe 3/4 of a cup. So it sounds like a lot of hot sauce, but in reality, your chicken is not gonna be hot at all, but it's gonna give it that flavor that you wonder, well, what in the heck is that? So, there we go. So we're actually gonna let this chicken marinate in this for a little while. You know, maybe 30 minutes. But my grandma Paul, she taught me that if I was frying chicken for dinner, to take that chicken out and season it that morning, because that makes it so much better, because those seasonings have had a chance to, you know, really get in there on that chicken. And it really does make a difference. So I'm gonna take a break at this point, and in about 30 minutes, I'm gonna come back and we're gonna fry it up. Y'all, you're probably wondering, doesn't Paula have on a different shirt? Yes, I do, because I realized I was fixing to fry chicken in my good silk blouse. So I went and put old cotton shirt on so I don't have to worry about it, because I'm always gonna get grease splattered on me. I don't care who I am or what time I am. Okay, y'all, so I told you what number 1 important step was. That you let your chicken come to almost room temperature so it won't shock that oil and cause it to drop. And all of our restaurants and here at my house, we use peanut oil, because I think peanut oil is one of the better oils for you. It's certainly more expensive, but you know, that's okay. There's some things you want to splurge on. And I have got this temperature up to right at 350. Can you see it, Eddie?
Yes.
I mean, it's right there at 350. And I'm using my candy thermometer, y'all, to see my temperature. So this has been sitting for about 30 minutes. So I'm just gonna put it over here in the colander so it can drain. And you'll want to discard this now. You don't want to refrigerate this and try to use it again. You know, just throw it out. All right. Your next step is to pick out your dark meat first, because your dark meat takes longer to cook than your white meat. So we wouldn't want to put a wing in first. We would want to put in a thigh, because this takes a while to cook. And I don't want to sound gory, but the blood is in the dark pieces of the chicken, not the white. All right, so we're gonna dunk our thighs first. All right, that's a back. That doesn't take too long to cook. All right, there's another thigh. And the legs are considered dark meat. your thighs, and your legs of the dark meat. So I'm gonna drop them in first, and I'm gonna flour them real good. Just toss that around in my flour. Okay, then we're gonna come over here to our cast iron pot of, and I probably put a quart of oil, y'all, in my cooker.
Now, do you ever season the flour with anything?
No, you know, I don't
You do
season
the seasoning ahead of time?
Yeah, because I've seasoned the chicken. So there's no need to to season the, all right, now watch our temperature, Eddie, and see how it's dropping. See if it's dropping.
Yes, it is.
How much is it dropping?
Well, I can't read it.
Okay. Well, it shouldn't be dropping much because it's not ice cold. So let me get up here so I can see.
I saw it go down.
Yeah, yeah, it really goes down, but some people like their wings twisted back up. So it won't take that long to heat back up, but that's your biggest challenge frying chicken at home. See, just adding those 2 wings have caused it to drop. But I'm gonna leave my thermometer in there so I can keep an eye on it, because I'm gonna wanna just bring that temperature up a little bit more and help that get back to 350. So it won't take it long. Oh gosh, it's dropped to below 200. So we don't have that when we fry our chicken in this piece of equipment over here. It knows to hold that temperature. But over here is a different ball game. Now on your dark meat, you know, they grow chicken so big now. And I don't like it. My mama always said, Paula, buy the smallest chicken you can find, like a 2.5 pounder, because that's going to be a sweet bird. Well, they don't do them that way anymore, rarely. I don't know what they're putting in them, but they're 4 and 5 pound birds. They look like actually a hen. But there is one person, one outfit that still raises your smaller chickens, and that is Springer. Yeah, Springer Mountain. You can find smaller chickens in their line of products. But let's see. Okay, it's trying to get back up there. But you'll just have to play with your fire. And I just don't want it to go over 350. But you know, Eddie, I probably should have had it higher than 350. To begin with, yeah. So it could afford to drop. But it's not going to take it that long. I got it cranked back up.
So like putting it up to 400 wouldn't have hurt it because it would have dropped?
Yeah, I think close to 400 would have been, yeah, pretty good. Because you see, I'm not really used to cooking chicken on the stove anymore myself.
Nor that small of a batch.
Yeah, nor that small of a batch. Right. We're cooking 50 pieces of chicken at the time.
And you just leave it.
So,
you don't touch it. You don't turn it.
Oh no, I give it a chance for that flour to grab hold. You know, I don't want to disturb it too much, Eddie, because I want that crust to, you know, stay on the chicken, not get all in the pan. So, all right, that temperature is coming back up. So let's talk about how long. I started telling you how long to cook, and I was talking about big chickens. Your thigh and your legs take the longest. And I would say maybe 14 to 15 minutes on the dark pieces. And maybe 12 or 13. You know, you'll just have to judge on how big your chicken is. But your dark meat definitely takes longer than your white meat. So just remember that, because nobody likes medium rare chicken. I've never met a soul, Teresa, that likes medium rare chicken.
Me? No.
Okay, y'all. I'm fixing to pull this chicken out, and I actually couldn't get all my chicken in there, so I've got some more to add to it. But I think this has been about 15 minutes. So if you're not sure if it's done, you can always take your thermometer, cut it on, and stick it in the thickest part of your chicken and see what it reads.
What's safe temperature, Paula?
All right, let's see. Chicken should be, is it 170? You know, that kind of slips my mind, Teresa. I'll have to, I don't want to say one figure and then it be the next. All right. So this looks delicious. And that's a wing, and oh, it looks so good. And look how fat these legs were, y'all.
Between 165 and 170.
That's what I thought. So between 165 and 170. So I was right on it, wasn't I?
You were.
Sometimes you just forget, though. As you get older, you just forget. So I told Aunt Peggy that I was frying chicken for supper. So she's real excited. We hadn't had fried chicken since the restaurant closed, have we, Eddie?
No.
All right, now that's half of a breast right there. Those breasts were huge. All right. So
Look how
we'll
pretty
get.
that chicken looks.
I mean, doesn't that look delicious?
That looks like restaurant chicken.
And it does look like restaurant chicken, doesn't it?
So see,
That's a quinky dink, isn't it? That's a quinky dink.
Oh, Paula.
Okay, we're gonna have to cut this back up because I had cut it down a little because our chicken was frying so good. So there we go. You can have Lady and Son's chicken at home without going anywhere. So I want to wish y'all luck. It's like anything else. The more you do it, the better you'll get at it. And I know that your family will appreciate your efforts. So invest in you a thick candy thermometer so you can watch your grease, and invest in a good thermometer.
And you said cast iron holds.
Well, yeah, I like cast iron because once it gets hot, it holds the heat better than any other element out there besides gold. And I don't know of anybody that can afford to cook out of gold pots. Copper's your next best, but cast iron, you can't beat cast iron. All right, so our temperature did drop a little bit, even though we had kept our chicken out of the refrigerator to get to room temperature. But it looks great, and I hope you have the most success with your chicken. But I don't want that to stop you from visiting me at any of the Paula Deen kitchens or the Lady and Sons. So best dishes in love, y'all. Enjoy your chicken, girl. You can crow about it.